The more you try to control everything, the more life slips away. Forcing results and pushing closed doors only creates tension, stress, and fatigue. Real power doesn't come from control, it comes from trust. Control comes from fear, trust comes from faith. I used to think strength and control meant success, but constant effort only left me stressed and unhappy. I learned the difference between acting with purpose and acting under pressure. When your energy comes from trust, your actions become calm, clear, and effective. Life is not something you conquer, it's something you allow. You don't need to control every detail, you just need to flow wisely. Allowing does not mean doing nothing. It means using your energy in the right direction instead of fighting against life. It means stopping worry about how things will happen and focusing on who you are becoming while you wait. When you do this, you start to feel lighter inside. You feel a calm that tells you that you are exactly where you need to be, even if you cannot see the result yet. When you relax and let go of control, something beautiful begins to happen. The right people appear. Opportunities come naturally, and the answers you once searched for with stress arrive easily. You stop running after life and begin to walk beside it. You start to understand that letting go is not giving up. It means trusting that the universe has a wiser rhythm than yours. In the next moments, you will discover why this conscious surrender does not only change your energy, but also opens the doors to abundance that were always waiting for you. Because when you change your inner frequency, life changes the way it responds to you. I have seen thousands of talented people sabotage themselves without realizing it, and it always starts the same way, trying to control everything. They want to control the result, the timing, other people, even the emotions of others. They try to make sure everything happens exactly as they imagined, without noticing that this need for control comes from deep fear. When you live in constant control, your energy becomes stiff, your mind becomes impatient, and your creativity fades. You think you are moving forward, but in reality, you are blocking the natural flow of life that is trying to guide you towards something much greater. Here is the paradox. The more you try to control, the more you disconnect from abundance. Control comes from fear of loss, while abundance can only flow from trust. Every time you try to force the result or rush the process, you are telling the universe that you do not trust its wisdom or its perfect timing. That lack of trust becomes a frequency that pushes away what you want to attract. What should arrive easily gets delayed because life cannot give you what you are not ready to receive with peace. The universe does not respond to what you say with your mouth. It responds to what you feel. You can repeat success affirmations all day, but if deep inside you feel anxious, lacking, or desperate, that is the real message you are sending. Your vibration speaks louder than your words. If your body is tense, your mind is silently saying, I don't trust, I lack something, I am afraid. That frequency tells the universe, I am not ready to receive yet. That is why inner work is always more important than outer action. Without inner harmony, no strategy truly works. Constant tension creates energetic interference. Imagine a radio trying to tune into a clear signal while there is static noise. That noise is your need for control. No matter how hard you try to listen, as long as fear is present, the signal stays unclear. The same thing happens with opportunities. They are available, but your anxiety distorts them. When you let go, your inner energy becomes clear, and what once felt invisible starts to appear. Forcing things creates resistance. And resistance is an invisible wall between you and the life you want. Every time you insist that something must happen your way, you disconnect from the natural flow of life. Life does not move through force, it moves through connection. When you flow, you cooperate with natural balance. When you force, you block it. What many people call bad luck is often just stuck energy caused by the need to control how and when things happen. I have learned that anxiety is a sign that you are trying to control something you cannot. It is your body's alarm telling you that trust is missing. When you become obsessed with results, you forget the power of the present moment. Anxiety lives in the future. Peace lives in the now. True mastery is not about control. It is about knowing when to stop, breathe, and allow life to lead. And when you do this, when you let go and trust, energy begins to move in your favor again. Synchronicity starts to appear. Doors that were once closed open gently. The right people show up at the right time. It is as if life is saying, thank you for letting me help you. Because when you release control, you create space for abundance to flow. The secret is not doing more. The secret is aligning deeply with the certainty that what is meant for you is already on its way. This is not only a spiritual idea, there is science behind calm. More and more research shows that calm and relaxed mental states directly affect how we think, decide, and create positive results. When you calm down, you change your inner chemistry. Your body lowers cortisol, the stress hormone, and increases serotonin and dopamine, which support clarity, motivation, and creativity. Calm is not weakness or passivity. It is a biological state that prepares your mind to perform at its best. When you relax, you literally change your biology. In minutes, your nervous system shifts from survival mode, where your body prepares to fight or run, into creation mode, where higher intelligence becomes active. Blood flow moves away from fear centers in the brain and toward areas responsible for logic, vision, and decision making. In simple words, you stop reacting and start responding consciously. This shift also changes brain activity. Your brain waves become more synchronized, meaning different parts of your mind work together more smoothly. This creates high mental performance, better focus, stronger memory, and improved problem solving. This is the same state athletes and artists experience when they enter flow. They are not tense or worried. They are fully present. Your breathing becomes steady. Your heart rate stabilizes. Your energy reorganizes itself. This calm body sends a clear message to the brain: I am safe. And when the brain feels safe, creativity opens. That is when ideas appear, unexpected solutions arise, and intuition becomes clear. Clarity, inspiration, and abundance do not appear in chaos. They appear when you allow yourself to pause and breathe. Studies show that relaxed people notice up to 60% more opportunities than stressed people, not because they are luckier, but because their perception is wider. When you are stressed, your mind enters tunnel vision. It only sees problems and threats. But when you are calm, your mind opens and begins to see possibilities you once missed. Calm expands awareness. It allows you to see beyond the moment and connect with ideas that lead to success. This happens because a calm mind is not focused on survival, it is focused on creation. A tense mind tries to avoid mistakes. A relaxed mind explores new paths. Calm is the fertile ground where innovation grows. That is why wise leaders, creative artists, and successful entrepreneurs learn to protect their inner peace. They understand that the mind is their greatest asset, and caring for it is the key to abundance. Your mind stops fighting the world and starts aligning with it. At that point, you no longer need to force anything. You simply cooperate with the energy around you. You begin to notice more coincidences. Opportunities appear in unexpected places. What once felt like hard effort now feels natural and smooth. When this alignment happens, everything starts to fit together easily. You are no longer acting from resistance, but from harmony between your mind, body, and inner self. For a long time, I confused letting go with giving up. I believed that if I was not pushing hard, everything would fall apart. I lived thinking that the only way to achieve something big was constant movement, constant struggle. But that mindset, even though it looks strong, is actually a subtle form of fear. It is the fear of stopping, of trusting, of allowing life to do its part. Letting go is not losing control. It is realizing that you do not need to control everything to move forward. I believed that if I did not push, nothing would happen. I grew up thinking that constant effort meant success. But over time, I learned there is a big difference between productive effort and anxious effort. Productive effort comes from clarity and purpose. Anxious effort comes from fear that nothing will work unless you force every result. When you act from tension, your decisions become reactive. You lose vision and disconnect from inspiration. What you build with pressure rarely lasts because it is supported by fear. With time, I understood that relaxing does not mean giving up on your dreams. It means learning to build them from a more conscious inner state. When you relax, you are not abandoning your goals. You are creating mental space for clear solutions to appear. You are allowing your intuition to take part. That intuition, born from silence and calm, often knows more than the rational mind that tries to plan everything. Relaxing means stopping the sabotage of your dreams through tension and fear. Many people do not realize that while trying to move forward, they are actually blocking their own progress. Tension creates an energy of lack. It sends a message inside you saying, I don't trust, I'm not safe, I need to control everything. By natural law, that energy attracts more situations that confirm that fear. But when you act from calm and trust, life understands that you are ready to receive. Opportunities aligned with that trust begin to appear. Many people believe abundance is achieved through force, extreme sacrifice, or endless work. But abundance does not respond to how much effort you make. It responds to the quality of energy behind your actions. Some people achieve more in 2 calm hours than others do in weeks of constant struggle, because abundance is not forced. It appears through alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned, results become natural and inevitable. This inner alignment changes how you act. Your actions flow. Results arrive. Life begins to surprise you. You no longer work from urgency, but from inspiration. Ideas come clearly. Opportunities line up. Everything moves with a natural rhythm. This is not magic. It is the effect of a calm mind working with life instead of resisting it. Relaxing is not giving up. It is trusting the process. It is having the courage to say, I am doing my part, and now I allow life to do its part. This does not mean doing nothing. It means conscious action. Trust does not replace effort. It strengthens it. When you trust, you release impatience and fear of outcomes. And in that inner lightness, everything moves faster. What once took years begins to happen with ease. I learned that calm is a strategy, not a weakness. The wisest leaders, the most successful entrepreneurs, and even top athletes practice conscious relaxation. Not because they do not work hard, but because they understand that a tense mind loses precision. Calm does not remove action. It improves it. When you become someone who can stay calm even in the middle of chaos, you reach a level of strength that very few people achieve. When you learn to trust, you discover that nothing is truly lost. Everything arrives at the right moment. A powerful example of this is Steve Jobs. His story shows that even the hardest failures can become the push that leads you to your highest potential if you stay calm and trust the process. When he was fired from Apple, the company he helped create, many people thought his career was over. But instead of reacting with anger or despair, he chose to pause, reflect, and reconnect with his creative core. That pause was not a defeat. It became the turning point that transformed him as a person and as a leader. After being removed from his own company, he could have given up or lived with resentment. Instead, he trusted that life had a purpose beyond that moment of loss. From that place of inner acceptance, he began to create again, this time with deeper maturity and clearer vision. Jobs understood that it was not about forcing his return. It was about flowing with the direction life was showing him. That ability to let go of control is what allowed him to create something even greater. From calm and clarity, he helped build Pixar, a company that changed animation and redefined how art, technology, and emotion could work together. What is interesting is that this creativity did not come from pressure or fear of failure. It came from a focused and calm state of mind. Jobs was not trying to prove anything. He was simply expressing what he loved. When you act from inner alignment, your results carry a natural magnetic power. He did not force his return. He did not seek revenge or quick recognition. He followed his path with patience, trust, and a deep sense of purpose. Sometimes true power is not chasing what was lost, but creating something so meaningful that life naturally brings you back to where you belong. That is exactly what happened. The same life that moved him away from Apple later brought him back, not as a desperate businessman, but as a transformed visionary. Accepting the process did not weaken him. It redirected him towards something greater. Instead of resisting change, he used it as fuel. This is one of the most important lessons from his story. When life removes you from a place, it is not always punishment. Many times, it is repositioning you. The difference is your attitude during the transition. If you fight what is happening, you become exhausted. If you trust, you turn loss into growth. Calm does not stop you. It prepares you for what comes next. Every person who has achieved something extraordinary has gone through a period of pause or uncertainty. Some panic, others observe, learn, and adjust their direction. Calm gives you perspective. It allows you to see the full picture while others only see the obstacle. Jobs used his time away from Apple to expand his vision. Because of that expansion, he returned with ideas that permanently changed technology. When you choose trust, life begins to move in your direction. This is not just a poetic idea. It is a mental and energetic principle. Trust creates openness. Openness attracts new possibilities. Fear, on the other hand, closes doors, blocks intuition, and limits your ability to see opportunities. Steve Jobs trusted not only his talent, but also the rhythm of life. That quiet faith allowed everything to come together in a way much greater than he could have planned. This is the lesson you can apply to your own path. Maybe today something is not going the way you expected, or an important door has closed. But remember this: if you learn to stay calm, if you choose trust instead of force, life will place you where you truly belong. Do not underestimate the power of calm. Sometimes the biggest leaps happen right after the longest pauses. Calm is not the end of the journey, it is the fertile ground where your next greater version is born. Letting go of control is not passive. It is a conscious practice that changes your inner energy. It does not mean letting everything happen without awareness. It means learning to notice when you are acting from tension and when you are acting from alignment. Abundance does not come to those who struggle the most. It comes to those who learn to tune into well-being, trust, and openness. Every tool you use should bring you back to the inner place where calm and action are balanced. Stop when something feels forced. That feeling of pushing a door that will not open is not bad luck. It is information. Resistance does not mean failure. It means something in your energy is not aligned with what you are trying to create. Listening to these signals takes courage. Sometimes what the ego wants is not what the inner self truly needs. When you pause instead of insisting, you give life space to rearrange things in your favor. That conscious pause can save you months, even years of frustration. Resistance is a signal, not an obstacle. Think of it as the control panel of your life. When a project, relationship, or situation is full of friction, it is time to check your intention. Ask yourself, am I acting from trust or from fear, from expansion or from the need to control? The moment you correct the energy behind your actions, flow returns. Life responds to balance, not to excessive effort. Practice gratitude in advance. This is one of the most powerful ways to activate abundance. Be grateful not only for what you already have, but also for what you cannot see yet. This tells your mind, I trust that this is already mine. That feeling of completeness removes the energy of lack and creates inner harmony. Gratitude in advance is not imagination. It is mental training that helps you hold faith even when proof is not visible yet. When you do this, your mind begins to focus on possibilities instead of absence. Your brain starts looking for signs that what you want is already on its way. This makes you more open to real opportunities. Gratitude creates a magnetic effect. You attract more of what you recognize and value. The more you appreciate, the more reasons you find to appreciate. Take a deep breath and say, I trust that everything is happening for my good, even if I do not understand it yet. This sentence is powerful. Words spoken with intention can change how you feel inside. When you breathe and affirm from the heart, your nervous system calms down. Survival mode turns off. Your mind remembers that everything has a purpose. You do not need to understand everything to trust. You need to trust so that understanding can come later. Focus on the present moment. Control lives in the future, in the when, the how, and the what if. But abundance can only appear in the now. When you focus on how you feel right now, you change the energy you are creating from. This does not mean ignoring your goals. It means learning to enjoy the process. The present moment is your true point of power. The more time you spend there, the easier it becomes to create what you desire. Remember this: abundance does not respond to lack, it responds to fullness. When you feel grateful for what you do not have yet, you send the strongest message possible. I already feel this as mine. That emotional certainty opens invisible doors. When you vibrate as if what you want already belongs to you, life naturally matches that energy. You are not asking, you are allowing. And in that state of trust, what belongs to you begins to find you. When it seems like nothing is happening, that is often when you are growing the most. In moments of quiet, unseen forces are working in your favor. Inner growth is rarely loud. Growth happens in silence, in patience, on the days when it feels like you are not moving forward, but your soul is. You are strengthening your faith, learning to trust, and developing emotional stability that will help you handle what is coming. Remember, what is not built with strong roots can be easily blown away. Think of the Japanese bamboo. For 7 years, it shows no visible growth. Many would think nothing is happening, but beneath the soil, it is expanding a deep root system that will support it when it finally grows. And when it does, it can reach 30 meters in just a few weeks. Life works in a similar way. It does not always show immediate results because first, it is preparing you to hold what you are asking for. Do not despair if you do not see fruits yet. Trust that you are growing strong roots. Silence is not punishment. It is preparation. We often mistake the absence of results for abandonment by life. But silence is the space where your mind reorganizes, where the pieces start to fit behind the scenes. It is in that quiet that clarity, resilience, and maturity arise. things you cannot get any other way. Life hides its greatest lessons in moments when everything seems paused. Learning to listen to this silence is one of the highest forms of spiritual intelligence. Life does not take away from you, it rearranges. When something leaves, it is not always a loss. Often it is a correction. You may have been moving along a path that no longer supported your growth, and life, in its wisdom, redirects you to protect you. Unexpected changes, sudden endings, or long pauses are divine adjustments. Do not resist them. Every ending prepares space for a new beginning, one that is more authentic and aligned with who you truly are. Life does not punish you, it trains you. Every challenge you face refines your character, strengthens your patience, and builds your mind. Training is not always comfortable, but it is necessary to become someone capable of handling the level of success or fulfillment you are seeking. You cannot receive something big with a fragile mindset. That is why life trains you first in the invisible before rewarding you in the visible. Every delay has a purpose. What seems like stagnation is life timing things perfectly. Delays teach humility, gratitude, and faith. Keeping your energy steady, even without results, brings you closer to what's meant for you. Nothing truly meant for you is lost. Pauses are preparation. When energy moves again, it comes with greater strength, clarity, and purpose. Patience does not delay your dreams, it matures them. When you trust, you do not wait from lack. You wait from certainty that everything is happening exactly as it should. When your heart and mind are in alignment, your energy field expands. This is measurable, not just a metaphor. Science shows that when your thoughts and emotions are in the same frequency, when you feel what you think and think what you feel, your body enters a state of balance. At this point, your energy becomes clear, stable, and powerful. You are no longer torn between desire and doubt, between wanting and fearing. You are aligned, and that inner coherence projects outward like a magnetic signal, attracting experiences on the same frequency. It is as if life can hear you more clearly, because when your energy is coherent, you are no longer sending mixed signals. You are not saying, "I want abundance" while feeling lack, or asking for love while feeling unworthy. Coherence turns your thoughts into clear instructions for life. When your mind and heart vibrate together, life responds with synchronicities, those effortless coincidences that guide you toward what you asked for. This is true energetic communication, emotional clarity transformed into tangible results. Stress, on the other hand, distorts your frequency. Every time you let worry, fear, or impatience take over, your energy signal becomes chaotic. It is like trying to tune into a radio station full of static. Even if the message is there, it cannot be received properly. Stress blocks creativity, weakens intuition, and disconnects you from opportunities that were once available. The work is not about forcing results. It is about learning to keep your energy steady, even when your surroundings feel uncertain. Calm stabilizes everything. It is the point where you regain control of your energy without trying to control the circumstances. When you choose calm, you choose clarity. Clarity makes you a natural magnet for what you want. Calm is not passivity. It is the smartest action you can take because it places you in the mental and emotional state where your decisions are wiser, your ideas sharper, and your intuition stronger. Energy attracts what matches its vibration. You cannot attract something that contradicts what you emit. If you vibrate in lack, you will attract lack. If you vibrate in gratitude and trust, you will attract more reasons to feel grateful. Life does not respond to impatience. It responds to faith. Faith is not sitting and waiting. It is keeping your energy aligned with your vision even when you do not yet see results. The higher and more coherent your vibration, the easier it becomes to bring what once seemed impossible. When your energy is aligned, things flow to you effortlessly. You do not have to chase them. Doors open, the right people appear, and opportunities synchronize in ways you could not have planned. This is the power of energetic coherence. Not forcing, but allowing. When you reach this level of alignment, you stop living from struggle and start living from flow. That is when you discover that calm does not only attract abundance, it becomes the source of everything that truly matters. Calm is not absence of action, it is action from faith. It means moving forward without anxiety, taking steps without losing your center, and trusting that every action, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. Calm doesn't stop you, it makes you strategic. Decisions come from clarity, not fear. Act from faith. Trust the path will appear as you walk. Your inner energy shapes your reality. Resistance brings chaos. Serenity attracts order and opportunities. Working on your calm is working on your destiny. Abundance comes when you radiate it, not chase it. Gratitude makes you a magnet for more. Breathe, let go, trust. Life is training you to hold your greatness. Relax under pressure, and life rewards you. Calm is not weakness, it is your power to create from peace, not struggle.